रवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लाङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं। नमयों विष्णुपादाय श्रीगौरप्रियमूर्तये श्रीमते भक्तिवल्लभतीर्थगोस्वामिनामिने। कृपया क्षमताम् अपराधिजनं खलु शायुतशक्तसुदीननरं सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं प्रणमामि च माधव देवपदम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, fifth chapter, verse number 19. Navai jano jatu kathanchana vraje mukunda sevyanyavyang avyadanga sangsritim स्मरन् मुकुन्दाङ्घ्राप गुहनं पुनर्विहातुम् इच्छेन्न रसग्रहो जनः। अहो भक्तिशून्य कर्मी जेमन संसार लाभ करे हरिपादपद्म सेवापर व्यक्ति कखनो कोनो कारणे खुजनी प्राप्त हईले तद्रूप संसारे निश्चयी प्रवेश करें ना। केनना रसग्रहीत अर्थात रसवशीकृत व रसस्वरूप भगवाने आग्रहपरायण रसिक व्यक्ति बारंबार भगवत पाद पद्मालिंगन स्मरण करिया ताहा आर परित्याग करते अभिलाष करें ना। Narad Goswami is further explaining to Vedavyasa that a ordinary fruitive worker who has no devotion and he is bound in one kind of birth, but a devotee, even though he might also have to attain such species or such a kind of a birth again, means he might have to enter into this material planet one more time or another time, still, because he has already, tasted or relished the sweetness of the lotus feet of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, or he would repeatedly remember the embrace of the Lord's lotus feet, he would not desire to leave that service or leave those lotus feet. Even though he might have entered into some material life, yet he would not desire to, leave that for the sake of material pleasures, like a karmi does. Karmi has no devotion, he has not tasted something superior or above, therefore he takes pleasure in performing material duties. Whereas a devotee, even though he might have attained a lower species, he does not seek any interest in those. That's why our Brahmaji, in his prayers, he says, our Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written in the mood, Kita janma hau jata tu adas, bahirmukha brahma janme nahi ash. He is telling that, may I be an insect in my next birth, but be it so, being a devotee of you. Bahirmukha Brahma janme nahi as. Even if I have to become Brahma and, not without devotion to you, I don't aspire for that. Therefore, the devotees, whatever state they are in, because they have relished the sweetness of the lotus feet of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna once, they would not desire to leave the service of such lotus feet. We heard the purport partly, very little bit of purport we heard yesterday. And we will continue from where we left off. श्री भागवते श्रुतिगण बोलियाचेन, हे सर्वेश्वर, जिनी भवदीय परमार्थ स्वरूपेर अवधारण करियाचेन, তিনি জ্ঞানদশাতে কর্মফল প্রদাতা ঈশ্বর আপনা হইতে উত্থিত অর্থাৎ ফলজননের জন্য সমুপস্থিত প্রাচীন পুণ্য পাপাত্মক কর্মের শুভাশুভ ফল সুখ দুঃখাদিতে কখনোই আবির্ভূত হন না। A devotee who has relished the sweetness of your lotus feet, or a devotee who has performed service unto your lotus feet, he is, even though due to his past good or bad deeds, the result of the past good or bad deeds, he might get happiness and distress, but yet he is not overwhelmed by all those, because he has got love to the lotus feet of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He is not overwhelmed. Like in the material world, a person is overly, he overly loses his composure when he is in extreme distress, and he is extremely delighted when he gets, some pleasure. But a devotee, he is neither completely lost in distress nor he is completely elated when he is in pleasure. He is equipoised in all situations, because he knows that I am receiving this because I have performed certain act in the past. I am receiving this distress because I have done some kind of sinful activity in the past. It is a reaction of that. Therefore, there is nothing to be overwhelmed by it. If I had done the bad activity, I am getting this result. Whatever good activity I have done, I will get the result for that also. So a devotee means who is perfectly situated in the Supreme Lord, even though, he attains some happy and distressed moments, he is not disturbed or overwhelmed by all these things. Evam dehabhimani vyaktiganer pakkhe avashya anusaraniya विधि निषेध रूपा वेदवाणीर सम्बन्धे कखनो ताहादिक्के व्याकुल होइते हय ना. And they are never overly busy performing the activities just like the materialistic persons do, to mitigate the sufferings or to protect themselves from future sufferings. They are not overly busy or endeavoring for such activities. Means here it is said that they don't have to do that, because when the distress has to come, it will come. It will not see, oh, this person has endeavored so much, this person has put so much trouble to stop from the suffering, therefore let me shower mercy upon him and then let me stay away. No, if you have done bad, you are destined to get it. That is why in the laws of Manu it has been said that whatever a person has done, he has to, there is no option there, there is no choice. He has to undergo the suffering for it. Only a pure devotee, a person who has completely freed himself from all the vices of this material world and who is not jealousy, nirmatsara, free from any jealousy, only such person can free himself, not anybody else. That's why here it is said that such a person does not have to, he doesn't have to be busy to stop from getting the miseries by performing various activities. Like some people say, oh, you have this particular dosha. Dosha means this particular defect in your kundali, in your astrological stars. Your star, this particular star is sitting in this particular corner of the house. Therefore, this dosha, this defect is there in you. You can overcome this dosha by performance of this activity. On this particular day, you chant these mantras or you perform this kind of havan or yajna, etc. You don't see devotees busy with those activities. Devotees are not interested in all those things, because if suffering has to come, it will come. A devotee will not even pray to the Supreme Lord to stop receiving the sufferings also. He will not even ask for it. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his writing, he has very clearly written, Nija karma guna doshe je je janma paye. Whatever karma I have performed in the past, whatever impressions I have, the past impressions, according to that, if I have to get suffering, let the suffering come. If happiness has to come, let it come. Janme janme jena tava nama gunakaya. But my only desire is that whatever situation I might be put in, whether it is in misery or whether it is in happiness, whatever it is, you please bless me that I never give up chanting of your holy name. This is my only prayer to you. I am not praying to you to asking you to stop, giving me miseries. I am not praying you for that. But I am only praying that whatever situation I may be in, let my chanting of the holy name not stop. This is the prayer. So here Bhagavat says the devotees don't have to be overly busy performing fruitive activities to stop getting the miseries. Neither they are overwhelmed nor are they busy trying to stop such miseries. अथवा लोकनिंदा और प्रशंसार संपर्क राखिते होय ना. Nor does he performing in activities in order to get some name and fame in this material world. Oh, if I act like this, then people will not be happy. In your house so much trouble is going on, still you are only chanting the holy name. Why are you not adopting these various karma kanda activities? It happens, right? Tukaram is a devotee, Maharashtra, very famous devotee. He was such a ardent follower of Lord Narayana that during those days, Shivaji, Chhatrapati Shivaji, you might have heard of his name, the great warrior in India, Chhatrapati Shivaji. He was of the time of, both are of the same time. What's his name? Tukaramji and Shivaji. Both of them are the same time. So Shivaji was a warrior and he was a devotee, Tukaram. So by listening to the prayers of Tukaram, Shivaji was captivated. Such a devotion he has got. He has written so beautiful hymns in his own language, Marathi, he has written. So Shivaji was captivated by it. And then he had sent so many, you know, what do you call, remuneration, so much remuneration, so many gifts they were sent to his house. You please accept this. I am very satisfied for what you are doing. What did Tukaram do? He had simply distributed them among the poor people. He did not use a single penny for it. His wife was very greedy. She had a lot of, as soon as so many ornaments, decorative items, beautiful saris, and so many other things they have come, they have never seen such a, wealth in their entire life. The wife was always telling Tukaram, you are not working every day, you are only singing Tukaram, Vittal, Vittal. Vittal means Narayana, you are only chanting Narayana's name all day. Will Narayana come and protect your house? What are you doing? You have so many children to take care of. You are not taking care of me. So many ways she is like, always after Tukaram. But he is a very, very simple devotee and always in bliss. Even though his wife is chastising, he is like, with a smile, he would, you know, forget that. And that enrages the wife even more. I'm telling you, but you are not acting upon it, that is fine. On top of it, you are smiling because he's totally engrossed in Krishna bhajan. So when all of this has come automatically, Shivaji had sent all of these things. Then the wife became very, very grateful. Oh, you are such a beautiful poet. You are this, you are that. Even Shivaji has accepted this. Very happy for you. She started praising him. But the next moment, Tukaram has called all the poor persons in the village and then he distributed everything to everyone. Again, the happiness of the wife is gone in a minute. She is thinking that all this wealth belongs to me. But the next moment, everything is finished. Again, she started chastising him. But Tukaram was, in all situations, he was peaceful. Why I said this is that whether people will appreciate my acts, whether they will, they will blame me, oh, he's a fool, he's a rascal, he's an idiot, he's a stupid, so much wealth has come, but still he does not know how to use it, he has just given it. The devotee is not interested in all these things. His activities are not to attain any glory from the people, praises from the people. His activities are completely dedicated for the pleasure of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, nothing else. So three things have been told in this verse, that a devotee is not overwhelmed even though there is intense suffering. He is, the second thing that is said is that he is not trying to stop, he is not endeavoring to stop sufferings coming to him. And the third thing is that he is not performing any act seeing that, oh, people in general want me to do this. For the sake of the people in general, he is not going to act. Karan प्रतिजुगे सगुण मूर्ति ते अवतीर्ण होइया अपनी जीवोद्धारेर अभिप्राये जे सकल उपदेश लहरी प्रदान करियाछेन गुरु परंपराय से समस्त उपदेश वाक्य श्रेष्ठ मानवगणेर मुखे श्रवण पूर्वक तिनि हृदये धारण करियाछेन अपनी तादृश व्यक्तिगण के मुख प्रदाने कृतार्थ करिया थाकेन. Why the devotee acts like this? Because you appear in this material world, in various millenniums for the sake of the devotees, and you give instructions. And those instructions are carried forward by your dear devotees. Because a devotee gets an opportunity to hear your instructions through bona fide devotees, he is more and more engrossed in those thoughts rather than how to stop suffering come to me, or how to engage in an activity that is, what that gives pleasure to everyone. He is not busy in all those things. He's simply acting according to the instructions that he has received from a bona fide devotees. And therefore, आपनी तादृश व्यक्तिगण के मोक्ष प्रदाने कृतार्थ कुर्यात् हाकेन. Therefore, you make such a devotee get delivered from all kinds of material bondages. So, in short, what is being said is that even though a devotee may have to accept a birth like any other karmi does, yet he is not overwhelmed by any kind of suffering. He is not performing any activity to stop the suffering, nor is he engaging in the activities that would pacify others or bring glory to him. But rather, he would be engaged in hearing your glories in proper disciplic succession, and therefore he will become eligible for your liberation. You will make his life successful by delivering him from this material world. एवं पद्मपुराणे उक्त हইয়াছে वैष्णवगणेर कर्मबंधन रूप जन्म হয় না. And Padma Purana also says that the Vaishnavas' birth in this material world is not due to material bondage. A devotee does not take birth due to his being bound by karma. They are not bound by karma. They are completely free from karmic reactions. Yesterday we heard Krishna Chakravarti Thakur has written in the purport that the devotees, whatever they receive happiness or distress, it is by the desire of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. They accept that everything is coming by the desire of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. They don't see that individual is a cause for this. Someone is giving happiness, oh, he is the cause. No, Supreme Lord is the cause. He has become an instrument. Somebody has given me suffering. A devotee will not see, oh, he is the cause of my suffering. He will see the Supreme Lord has used him or made him instrumental to give this kind of suffering to me so that I will learn lesson, so that I will stop performing such an activity. So, the devotee's vision is that everything is coming from the Supreme Lord. Tatte anukampam susamikshamano. He sees very firmly, very staunchly, he believes, he knows, his experience is that tatte anukampam, everything is the mercy of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Like a mother's chastisement and mother's affection, both are love. You cannot say the affection of a mother is her love and chastisement of mother is her hatred towards me. No. Mother's love is expressed in both ways. Sometimes in the form of chastisement or in the form of punishment, and sometimes in the form of love, in the form of kisses, in the form of huggings. So, mother exchanges in both ways. In a similar manner, Supreme Lord also gives us suffering or enjoyment. Both are the mercy of the Lord. It's not that suffering is not the mercy and happiness is not the mercy. Happiness is the mercy and suffering is not mercy. He does not see like this. Tatte anukampam susamikshamano. And bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam. I am reaping the fruits of my own actions. Nobody is the cause of my suffering. I myself am the cause of my suffering. This he knows very, very strongly. Therefore, Vaishnava Ganer Karma Bandhan Rupa Janma Hoina. The Vaishnavas do not take birth like ordinary materialistic persons who are bound by karma. Tarpar पूर्वेर अभ्यास वशतः श्री मुकुंदेर चरण जुगलेर आलिंगन मने मने स्मरण करिया पुनराय त्याग करते इच्छा करे ना. And even though a devotee has taken birth, for whatever reason, still, because he had in the previous birth repeatedly engaged in the service of Mukunda's lotus feet, now that he got an opportunity again, he would not want to leave that. For some reason in the past, he had left it. When karma becomes very, very strong due to some influence of our previous karmic reactions, temporarily we may see that a devotee has paused his devotional progress. It's not a stop, it's a pause. We may see the temporary pause. But as soon as he comes back, he will realize, oh, now I shall not give up the service of the lotus feet. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that because of his previous practice, just like Bharata, he in his next birth he has become a deer, and therefore, due to his past practices, he was associating with the rishis, the munis. Ajamila, because of his previous practice, at the time of the death, he chanted the Lord Narayana's name and immediately he got reminded about Narayana and then continued. So, there can be a temporary pause. For some, it may be the same lifetime. For some, it may be next lifetime. For some, it may be 10, 20 lifetimes. Whatever it may be. That is a pause only. That's not a stop. That's not the finish. That's not the end. Even if, let's say, 10, 20 lifetimes, and it is for 200, or 2000 years, let's say, there's a stop in Hari Bhajan. For example, I'm telling, when you see in a holistic perspective, infinite time, what is 2000 years? Nothing. For us, it may appear a long time, but it's nothing. So, the thing is that the pause or the temporary, break in the Hari Bhajan will immediately begin as soon as those impressions will resurface. এখানে আঙ্ঘ্রি স্মরণ অর্থাৎ চরণ যুগল স্মরণ করিয়া ইহা না বলিয়া তাহার আলিঙ্গন এবং পুনরায় ইহা বলায় চরণ যুগল হইতে একবার দুইবার তিনবার স্বেচ্ছায় দুরভিনিবেশ বশতঃ ভজন পরিত্যাগ করিয়াও কিছু কাল পরে নিজের পূর্ব ও পরবর্তী দশার তাহার স্মরণজনিত সুখ এবং বিস্মরণজনিত সুখ মনে করিয়া অনুতপ্ত হইয়া হায় হায় দুর্বুদ্ধি আমি এখন কি করিব, যাহা হোক ইহার পর কিন্তু আর প্রভুর ভজন পরিত্যাগ করিব না, এরূপ স্থির করিয়া পুনরায় ভজন আরম্ভ করিয়া থাকেন, এই অর্থ। Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is further explaining. He is giving a hope to all of us. He is giving us encouragement in the path of Hari Bhajan. He is telling that by remembering the lotus feet of Mukunda or by remembering his embrace, ইহা বলায় চরণ যুগল হইতে একবার দুইবার তিনবার স্বেচ্ছায় দুরভিনিবেশবশতঃ. It might happen several times that I have started performing bhajan, but due to my bad association or previous impressions, I stopped performing bhajan. Again, some good impressions have come, I started performing bhajan. Again, after some time, it stopped. Again, I started and then stopped. It might happen 1, 2, 3, 4 several times due to our own previous bad impressions or due to our bad association. It might happen, even though one might give up Hari Bhajan temporarily, yet when he remembers the lotus feet of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, or when he remembers the happiness that he derived when he was performing bhajan, immediately he will have repentance. Alas, oh, what grave mistake I have done. For another time I have given up Hari Bhajan. What a fool I am. I shall not give up Hari Bhajan one more time. Now I have understood the importance of Hari Bhajan, because I have been forgetful of the Supreme Lord all these days. I have been getting suffering. Now I shall not. So repeatedly he will have this remembrance, like our Gajendra also. In his previous birth, he had the practice of singing the prayers of Supreme Lord every day. But due to the influence of time, due to some offense to a Vaishnava, he had temporarily fallen down. And in the next birth, as soon as he was in danger, he remembered. That immediately struck him, and then he started offering prayers. And while he was offering prayers, he remembered that in the previous birth what he was. So the point here is that even though due to one's own past deeds or some bad impressions, not one time, two times, three times, even if a devotee gives up Hari Bhajan temporarily for several times, yet he will have the repentance. Oh, such a fool I am. What did I do again? I have given up Hari Bhajan. Okay, whatever has happened has happened. I shall not give up Hari Bhajan hereafter. In this manner, he will have very, very firm faith and he will remain steady in Hari Bhajan. Why Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is telling all this is that a devotee will never have to undergo, or he does not have to face a fall down. Even though there is a temporary fall down, because he had once tasted the sweetness of the holy name or sweetness of the Lord's lotus feet, that taste or that greed for that attachment, the greed for that particular name or for the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord will again bring him back to that path. এখানে বিজাহ্যাত ইহা না বলিয়া বিহাতুং না ইচ্ছেত, ত্যাগ করিতে ইচ্ছা করেন না, এইরূপ বলায় তাহার গর্ভরাহিত্য সূচিত হইয়াছে. Here one word is used. The word is bijahyat. Vijahyat means vihatum na icchet, means he does not want to give up Hari Bhajan. When it is said that Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, actually he is writing for the scholarly persons basically. The meaning of this, what it indicates, the devotee does not desire to give up Hari Bhajan. It means he is telling that the devotees are not saying this proudly, oh, I will not give up bhajan. It's not out of proud that they are telling this. They don't desire to give up Hari Bhajan. What it indicates, I'll just further read, it will be more clear after this. Bhajan ami tyag koribo na ei ichha matrami koritechi, tahar nirbaho kintu ishwarer haste, iha tahar ashay hastagata bhav. Means the devotees will feel, they will not say that, oh, from today onwards I will not stop chanting the holy name. They will say that from today onwards I desire not to stop chanting of the holy name. This is my desire. Rest is in the hands of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So they don't take the pride, I am chanting every day and I will not give up my chanting ever in my life. They will not speak like this. Oh, I have been serving holy name, I have been serving Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, I shall never give up Hari Bhajan. They will not be arrogantly saying this. They will be saying that I desire not to give up my Hari Bhajan. Rest is in the hands of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Means what a person can do is just desire. What is there in our hands is to desire. But whether we will attain that or not is in the hands of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So, because all the living entities have got the independence, relative independence. What do we do with that relative independence? We desire. I want to become a president. I want to become a rich man. I want to become this. I want to become that. Whatever, we desire. But simply we desire does not mean we attain it. It is in the hands of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. In a similar manner, the devotee knows this very well. Means who can know this better than a devotee? Not a karmi. A devotee knows this very better. Therefore, he will not take pride, or he is not very arrogant that, oh, I will not give up devotion. He will say that, my dear Lord, I don't want to give up your Hari Bhajan. I don't want to give up your bhajan. I don't want to give up your service. Rest is in your hands. So they will stay with this hope. ताहार कारण रसग्रह अर्थात रसे आग्रह जहार अथवा रसई ग्रहेर न्याय जहाँ के त्याग करें ना, because they are rasagrah, because they have tasted the sweetness of the holy name or sweetness of the service. Therefore, they don't desire to give up that service. ए अभिप्राय भजने निष्ठा रुचि एवं आसक्तिर परे रति दशाते साक्षात रूपे रस होइया ताके अतएव भजनेर प्रथम आरंभेर दिनेव परिच्छन्न रूपे रसांशत्व थाकिबे. There are different gradations in bhakti. आदौ श्रद्धा, तथा भजन क्रिया, तथा अनर्थ निवृत्ति स्यात्, ततो निष्ठा, तथा रुचि, ततो भाव, ततो प्रेमाभ्युदयञ्च साधकानाम् अयं भवेत् क्रमे. This is the gradual process of Krishna bhakti. First is Shraddha. Fundamental faith is required. Tatha sadhu sangha. Then one will get association of sadhu. Then bhajana kriya. Then one's devotional service or devotional practice will begin. Anartha nivriti. Then all the vices in the heart, anarthas, they will be gone. And then nishtha. Then very, very firm faith, steady faith. And then ruchi. One is performing bhajan with firm faith. Then ruchi, the taste will develop. And then after ruchi, asakti, greed. Greed will be developed. And after that greed, rati or bhava. Bhava means the feeling, the mood. So bhava is developed in that stage. साक्षात रूपे रस होइया थाके अतएव भजनेर प्रथम आरंभेर दिनेव प्रच्छन्न रूपे रसांशत्व थाके. Means even though one may say according to this process the bhava or the rasa, the relishment of the rasa will happen at that stage after nishtha, ruchi, asakti, and then one will relish. Krishna Thakur is telling, yes, it is true that one will relish the sweetness at that stage, but even in the preliminary stages of devotion, there is some sweetness that a sadhaka, a practitioner tastes. Means at every stage, even in the stage of Shraddha, means fundamental faith, even in that stage, there is a very, very minute relishment of Krishna Rasa, the mellows of Krishna. What Vishnu Thakur wants to say here is that when one has come in contact with Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, whatever gradation of bhakti one may be in, yet he will be able to taste that sweetness. जेरूप श्री भागवते एकादश स्कंदे जोगेंद्र कवि महाराजेर उत्तरे दृष्ट है. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Nimi and the Navayogendra's conversation, one of the Yogendras, his name is Kavi. Kavi is replying to King Nimi. Jemon bhojanakale pratigrasei maner tushti, deher pushti, ও ক্ষুণ্ণিবৃত্তি ক্রমশই হইয়া থাকে, সেইরূপ অনন্য শরণে ভগবানে নির্ভর করতঃ শ্রবণাদি ভাগবত ধর্মের অনুশীলনে ভক্তের প্রেমলক্ষণা ভক্তি ভগবত स्वरूपेर उपलब्धि एवं धन पुत्र कलत्रादि विषये वैराग्य এই তিনটি ভজনের সমকালেই ক্রম অনুসারে উত্তরোত্তর পরিবর্ধিত হইয়া থাকে. So Kavi is speaking to King Nimi, and there one example is given. What is that example? With the every morsel of food that we are putting in the stomach, every morsel, what happens is so much of satisfaction. I'm very hungry I am, and then I have a plate of food in front of me. If I put the first morsel of food, how much ever quantity I have put, that much of satisfaction I would have already felt, isn't it? I'm very hungry, and the first morsel of food I am happy, and so much of deher pushti, nourishment to the body, means by not eating I am feeling lost of energy. Energy is lost. It's like if one has observed Nirjala Ekadashi, he will know. The next day, the first gulp of water you take, you will feel that your thirst is getting quenched by bits and pieces, and then you will feel the bliss. Wow, I got something for the throat after 2 days. For one full day I have not drunk anything, not eaten anything, and then the body is also getting some kind of nourishment. A person who has observed Nirjala, you will understand this. Slowly these things will happen one after another. In a similar manner, when we put food, the first thing is maner tushti, satisfaction of the mind. The second is deher pushti, the nourishment to the body, and the third is kshun nivritti, the hunger will be gone to that degree. In a similar manner, when one is performing Bhagavad Dharma, means when one is performing devotional activities in proper disciplic succession, then one will slowly advance to Prema Lakshana Bhakti, means devotion. So much devotion will become manifest in him. So much realization of God will manifest in him, and so much detachment to the material things he will attain. As much devotion one is performing, just like one morsel of food, so much of nourishment, so much of satisfaction, and so much of freeing ourselves from the hunger happens. In a similar manner, as much devotion one performs, devotional service, so much of devotion, Prema Lakshana Bhakti, means devotion with the Prema Lakshana. Prema Lakshana means symptoms of ecstasy. So much he will relish, so much there will be detachment from the material hankerings, and so much he will have attachment to the Supreme Lord also. Did you understand the point? The point here is that even in the very early stages of devotion, one does not have to even go to the stage of Bhava Bhakti. Even in the very early stages of devotion, there is some sort of pleasure that a devotee relishes as soon as he comes in contact. That is what is being said here. Sei ras aswadan vishaye bhakter pakkhe taha dustyajya evam rasamay govindo kartrikau bhakta dustyajya. So a person thus who has, oh, nobody told me about the time. Okay, there is not much purport. I'll just complete 2 lines more. Therefore, a person who has thus relished the sweetness of Krishna Bhakti, for him it becomes extremely difficult to give up devotion. And also, it's not one-sided. For Supreme Lord also it becomes very difficult to give up such a devotee. It's not that for a devotee it becomes difficult to give up devotion. For the Supreme Lord also it becomes very difficult to give up such a devotee. তারপর ভজনের অবিচ্ছিন্নতা উৎপন্ন হইলে ভজনীয় মুকুন্দের অচিরেই প্রাপ্তি হইবে এই বিষয়ে কি সন্দেহ এই ভাব। Then from that point onwards the devotee will never give up devotion and his service to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna will be continuous without any further break. So if I have to explain in a nutshell what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has written, even though due to one's own past misdeeds or some influence of previous impressions, a devotee might temporarily face a fall down. Once, twice, thrice he might have given up Hari Bhajan. Because he had already tasted the sweetness of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna once, as soon as he comes back to the remembrance of the Supreme Lord, he will immediately say, "Oh, what have I done? I have forgotten Supreme Lord Sri Krishna one more time. My misery is because of that. Whenever I remembered Supreme Lord, I was happy. And whenever I forgot him, I am in distress. Therefore, from now on, I shall not give up my devotion." And because Supreme Lord is also attached to the devotees, the Lord also will not give up such a devotee. Therefore, from that point, his devotion will continue without any further break. That's why it is said that in Padma Purana that the devotee's birth in this material world is not due to the bondage of karma. That is the purport. We will continue reading Prabhupada's purport tomorrow. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री श्री